Welcome to the Able Farmer channel, everyone. I have an excellent video lined up for you today, so let's go get what we need. Alright, so we got a duck egg and we have a chicken egg. And in this video, we're going to find which one is better. So why don't you come with me? Alright, we're going to break down the differences between these two in this video. And I hope you guys learned something out of this. So what is the most obvious thing that you notice when looking at these two eggs? Obviously, the duck egg is much larger than the chicken egg. On average, a duck egg is about 50% larger. So easy way to think about that is for every 2 duck eggs equals 3 chicken eggs. So on a 1-to-1 ratio, you are getting more bang for your buck out of the duck egg just out of the sheer size alone. So there's that to think about. The next positive thing to note about a duck egg is that duck eggs contain a lot more albumin. And albumin is a material in the egg that gives pastries and baked goods more structure. So therefore, if you bake with a duck egg, your pastries are going to be fluffier and lighter. So that is a baker's secret, is using a duck egg. That's also a little secret that the French use to make those tasty little pastries. A lot of people in France use duck eggs. Now what about taste? Side by side, what is the taste difference? A duck egg, you will notice, is a lot more creamier tasting. It has a lot more flavor. It is richer than a chicken egg, than what a lot of us are used to in chicken eggs. That is probably the most noticeable thing right away, other than the size, is that it is much richer. I've heard it compared to as like 2% milk versus whole milk. That is kind of like a similar comparison. They're obviously similar, but one is a thicker, creamier taste and texture, and that is what I would say a duck egg is more like. Now let's get more into the nutritional information. A duck egg has more fat in it. A duck egg has about 9.6 grams of fat versus 5 grams of fat in a chicken egg. And also, the duck egg has more protein, with about 9 grams of protein versus about 6.25 grams of protein in a chicken egg. Duck eggs also have more vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin D than chicken eggs. And obviously this is going to also be determined by the diet of the animal. But on average, the duck egg tends to have more vitamins and nutrients in it than the chicken eggs. Chicken eggs are still good, but duck eggs seem to be better in this department. Another thing is omega-3s. A duck egg has a whopping 71 milligrams of omega-3 versus 37 milligrams in a chicken egg. That is a huge difference. This is the coolest thing when it comes to duck eggs. If you have an allergy to chicken eggs, you can often switch to duck eggs and be totally fine. And this is because the protein within the egg is slightly different. Now, I'm not allergic to chicken eggs, but I would imagine if you was, and you found out that you could use duck eggs in their place, that would be huge. The foods that you've had to avoid all your life, you can now have just by replacing with a duck egg. However, it is possible to be allergic to duck eggs and not be allergic to chicken eggs. But you're going to have to find out for yourself, I guess. But if you're allergic to chicken eggs, this would be a game changer. Now, what are some negatives about duck eggs? Well, duck eggs are harder to crack. This is actually kind of a positive and a negative. Duck eggs have thicker shells, so they last longer than a chicken egg. That's a positive. But the negative is they're a little bit harder to crack. You need to develop a little bit of a technique to get good at it. It's not hard, but they're a little bit harder to crack. That's all there is to it. Also, when you look up recipes such as baking recipes or whatever, they are often for chicken eggs. Well, if a duck egg is 50% larger, say they call for 3 eggs, that's going to be different when it comes to duck eggs. So you may have to do a little bit of experimentation or a little bit of math, knowing how many duck eggs do you need for your recipe versus the chicken eggs. Say you're doing this giant batch of something, you needed 15 chicken eggs, but you would only need 10 duck eggs. And so you gotta kind of do that math. Also, if you're worried about how many calories you're eating or how much cholesterol you're intaking, a duck egg has a lot more of both. So that's something to keep in mind. However, maybe you can get by eating less duck eggs than eating more chicken eggs, so maybe that would help balance out. But egg per egg, there's definitely far more calories and cholesterol in a duck egg than there is in a chicken egg. Another negative with the duck egg is the whites are harder to whip into peaks. The chicken egg tends to do a lot better with that, and that is because there's a higher moisture content or water content in the whites of the duck egg. So I guess that makes it to where it's easier to whip the whites into peaks. Another thing with that same thing, the whites, if you overcook them, they can be a little bit rubbery in texture. And when it comes to hard-boiled eggs, I kind of don't like that as much. That is the one area I would rather eat a hard-boiled chicken egg than a hard-boiled duck egg. It's just the fact that it's just a texture kind of thing. And that is a negative with the duck eggs because, you know, you get a little bit of an odd texture that we're not used to. Also negative with the duck eggs are cost and availability. Obviously you're not going to get your local supermarket, and you're probably not going to find duck eggs on the shelf. And you know, so they're a little bit harder to find. There's chicken eggs everywhere. You go to your dollar store, you can go to the gas station, you can buy chicken eggs all over the place. Yeah, I don't need to tell you that. But how many times have you seen duck eggs on the shelf? Not very often. So you need to seek them out and find somebody that raises ducks, or you could raise them yourself. Then it's not a problem at all. But that is something to think about. And in some markets, duck eggs, they tend to cost more. I know there are areas that duck eggs can be up to $8 a dozen, which is really expensive. I can't sell them for that around here. Nobody would buy them. So I just charge the same amount as my chicken eggs because honestly, it's not any harder to get a duck egg than it is a chicken egg. And you know, I like raising ducks, so that's why. And as far as an aesthetic reason, you get a lot more colors with different breeds of chickens than you do with ducks. It has nothing to do with the egg, eating the egg itself. It's just if you want a pretty carton of eggs, you got a lot more options with the chicken eggs than the duck eggs. Duck eggs, I believe there's maybe 2 or 3 different colors. You can get the white, kind of a black, smoky color, and I think there's a blue. I'm not quite sure what lays those, but there's a blue. But you know, with your chicken eggs, you got your light browns, your dark browns, your whites, your blues, your greens, you know, your olive eggers, and you've got tons of variety of colors when it comes to eggs. And that's just an aesthetic reason. It has nothing to do with the product that you're eating. So that's just something to think about. So anyway, here is a bunch of numbers. It is what it is. Let's put these things to the real test, and let's cook them up, and I'll actually show you what they look like. Alright, I have you guys outside just for lighting reasons, but I'm going to go ahead and crack these. We all know what a chicken egg looks like. We'll go ahead and crack that into the bowl. I'll go figure out a little bit of shell in there. Alright, so now the duck egg. Now these are a little bit more tricky. I like to just give it one good smack, and then you got to kind of, the way I do is you pry your thumbs in there more. Like so. You can see it in there. But pry it in there and then pull it apart. Like so. Beautiful. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is the size of the yolks. The duck egg has a great big yolk. The chicken eggs is a little smaller. The next thing you're going to see is the whites on the chicken egg are kind of a milky yellowish tint to it, where the duck egg is crystal clear, just like water almost. And you can see, like, here's the consistency. They're probably about the same, my guess would be. So that's what they look like once cracked. Duck egg, chicken egg, there they are. Now we're going to cook some up, and we're going to try a couple little tests. Alright, so right here we have the chicken, and we have the duck, right here side by side. So obviously I've got scrambled eggs, and I've got over easy. Those are probably the 2 most common ways of fixing eggs for breakfast. So I just wanted to show you the yolk. As far as the chicken egg, if you cut into here, it's got a nice runny yolk. You can see there. You could dip your toast in or whatever. But this is where the duck egg really shines. The yolk in this duck egg is just beautiful. Maybe that doesn't show up on camera, but the duck egg really shines when it comes to over easy eggs because it's got that nice big creamy yolk and it is delicious. So when it comes to these, both are good obviously, but I give the duck egg the win for over easy eggs. Now when it comes down to the scrambled eggs, personally I feel like it's about a draw. I think they taste about the same. In fact, my family, a lot of times if we're making scrambled eggs, we just grab whatever's there. We mix the chicken and the duck eggs together. You never even know. When it comes to a scrambled egg, I think it is just about dead even. And then I've got one more to show you. Alright, hard-boiled eggs. And let me tell you, this is the first time I've ever hard-boiled a duck egg. It was a lot harder to peel than the chicken egg. I don't know if it's always like that or not, but it was definitely a lot harder to peel. And then one thing you notice too is look how white that duck egg is compared to the chicken egg. I hope that shows up. Hopefully that shows up the different colors on there. So like I said, I've never eaten or hard-boiled a duck egg, so this is going to be a new experience for me. So let's cut these in half. There is the chicken egg. See, maybe I could have went a little longer, but I kind of like that soft yolk in there. I think that's pretty darn good. But there's your chicken egg. If you like your yolk a little bit more done, just cook it a little longer. This was 6 minutes in the pressure cooker. So now let's try the duck egg. Oh yeah. You can see the yolk is still slightly runny in that too, but hey, that's a-okay with me. I don't know about you, but fix it how you like. So they look pretty darn similar. Let's give them a taste. Let's try a little bit of duck egg. Very good. Try a little bit of chicken egg. Very similar. It's very, very similar. Not much different at all. So like I said, if you mix those up, or one or the other, doesn't matter. I don't think very many people are going to notice much of a difference. When it comes to the over easy egg, let's do the chicken. A little bit of white, a little bit of yolk. Excellent. When it comes to the duck egg, oh man. In my opinion, duck egg wins big time on over easy. Excellent, excellent egg. And as far as baking, I didn't bake you a cake or anything, but duck eggs supposedly win when it comes to baking over the chicken eggs. That's just something that a lot of people agree on. So you have to take my word for that or try it yourself. But on the final thing, alright, chicken egg. That was good. I really dig that yolk being like that. It's really hard to nail, but you get just that perfect consistency. I like that. I like that softer yolk. It's just about runny. Just about. Man, that's good. Alright. I kind of knew what that was going to taste like. We've all had hard-boiled chicken eggs. Let's try the duck egg. Brand new. I've kind of been told horror stories on it, so I've never made them because it's kind of made me nervous. Smell good. It's not bad. Not a lot of difference, really. There's something just a little bit different about the texture of the white, but I can't quite. Put my finger on it. But I'd eat that. That's good. I don't know what the big deal is, but you can see that my yolks are slightly runny, so obviously I didn't overcook this. From what I've read, when you overcook that white, that's when it becomes rubbery, but this is not rubbery at all. This is good. I'm pleasantly surprised. So, that's pretty much the video, guys. I was just trying to get a good comparison between a chicken egg and a duck egg, and they're both excellent. I mean, what can you say? Chicken eggs, obviously everybody eats chicken eggs, so you know exactly what that's like. But don't be afraid to try those duck eggs. And if you have an allergy to chicken eggs, you need to try these duck eggs, because that could be a game changer. That could change your life. And they're delicious. I would put them dead even when it comes to scrambled. Duck egg over chicken egg when it comes to over easy. If I had to pick one, I'd probably still pick the chicken egg over the duck egg when it comes to hard boiling. But I'm telling you, it was a lot closer than I was expecting. I could eat either one of them. They're very good. Maybe in the future I will actually do a video on raising ducks versus chickens. Not about the eggs, but just the animal itself. How feasible is it to raise ducks versus if you're just into chickens. The pros and cons of that, how hard it is. That may come up in a future video. But this is strictly on the egg. Strictly on the final product here. Which one wins? I don't know, guys. It depends on your specific situation. If you just do scrambled eggs, it don't matter. However, with the price of duck eggs, I would probably pick the chicken eggs just because they're cheaper and there's not much difference between them. Unless nutrition is a factor for you. If you're really into getting more nutrients out of your food, then I would probably go towards the duck egg for sure. Availability, obviously, the chicken eggs, and cost would be chicken eggs would be a lot better option. I'm telling you, if you like over easy eggs though, duck egg all the way. Delicious. I love it. Hard boiled. You do a lot of egg salad. Just get your chicken eggs. They'd probably be fine. Duck eggs, you could do it, but if you're just gonna do stuff like that, I would probably get the chicken eggs. And if you're baking, I'm just gonna take other people's word on it. They say the duck eggs are the best for that. Because it creates a fluffier, softer pastry, cakes or whatever. I know a lot of bakers will actually seek duck eggs out just because they're better for baking. So I hope you guys learned something from this. I enjoyed doing this video. I thought it was pretty fun. If you're still here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I got a lot of cool things that we're going to show. I'd appreciate that. And go ahead and like that video. And yeah, that'd be great. So we're gonna wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.